This is a sample. I got this makeup bag with samples in it.
Social media influencers. There's nobody more gifted. By which I mean they receive a metric ton of gifts. Oh, yeah. So what exactly is an influencer? Let's ask a millennial.
According to the internet, influencer is a contagious infection of the nose, throat and lungs. Oh, hang on.
Influencers spruik products across Instagram, Facebook, YouTube and TikTok. Brands showering them with elaborate gifts from clothing to makeup, meals and even holidays in an attempt to tap into their thousands of followers.
I have heard of amazing holidays overseas.
Wine, soap, moisturiser,
designer handbags, luxury cars.
A soda stream, which I accepted.
All sorts of bits and pieces.
A lamp.
Maybe a washing machine.
Australian regulations require influencers to disclose commercial agreements via hashtags. But now, aspiring influencer, the Australian Tax Office, wants a piece of the action, saying these gifts count as income and should be subject to GST. In a statement to the project, the ATO said,
if you are paid in kind, such as with goods or other benefits, you are subject to the same income tax and GST treatment as normal cash or credit payments. Hashtag statement.
The things that you generally receive aren't things you can resell or make a profit off. A lot of the time that with a small brand starting out, they're not paying me and I'm not paying them.
I'm all for anything that makes our work, our careers, more legitimate. And so it's really important that these standards do come into place because then we can understand we've got these guidelines to work towards.
The ATO says it will use sophisticated data matching and analytical tools that will enable them to identify who may be underreporting their income.
I think it's just going to result in people not disclaiming or hiding gifts, but when it comes to items, it's also so hard to qualify how much it's actually worth.
So is this the end of the party for influencers, or a sign it's a profession to be taken seriously?
At least they try to make it fun. I mean,
Maria Thadil is an author, media personality and influencer, and she joins us now at the desk. Maria, should influencers pay tax on their gifts?
I mean, it's a little bit of a nuanced one, and I think we'll make a distinction to start. We're talking about gifts where people are expected to maybe create some content in return or provide a service. I do tend to agree. I think it kind of makes a little bit of sense because you do see people sometimes abuse this. So they might accept items and then resell it. And that's essentially, generating an income, which kind of is a bit of a slap in the face to people who earn an honest living. And then on the other hand, people might be promoting lifestyles that not even they can attain. And it's like, what are we influencing young people to sort of aspire to? You think it's kind of just easy and it's luxurious, but, if it makes people evaluate what they're willing to accept, if they can afford it, be more honest with their lifestyle, sure. But there is a downside, in my opinion. So when I started, it was honestly like 5-6 years ago, I was working in HR and I couldn't afford all the beauty products and the hair things that I was using. So when they'd gift it, that was my chance to show, hey, this is what I can do. And then that generated business. Those are the people who are going to suffer because now the barriers to entry are going to be higher. So there's pros and cons.
Although, presumably, if they're not earning much, they don't have to pay tax because they're below. Anyway, that's just tax policy. But what I'm interested in is how this might work in practice. So, because you're getting paid in stuff, but if you pay tax, you have to pay it in money.
Yeah.
So if you're in that situation where you're not actually generating money, how would you pay?
Well, that's what it is. You can't. So if you're not generating enough income and hypothetically you're offered, say, a $5,000 bag, you're actually going to have to sit back and think, can I even afford the tax on this bag? And it's that sort of thing where people are going to have to sit back and go, actually, this isn't real for me. Like, I can't afford this. No. And so I think we're going to see content that's maybe more genuine, maybe a market that's less saturated, but I think it's going to be a little bit murky. People will try and get around loopholes, and like any new law, it's going to take some playing out to figure out how it'll work.
You can't pay the rent with a handbag.
No, you can't. Or feed your family.
Oh, what if you send it to the tax office? See what happens.
I mean, hi, Mr. Taxman, here's a deal. I don't think that's going to work.
Here's 23.5%.
Yes, there you go. Enjoy.
For people who don't understand how this works, do you get sent stuff that you didn't even ask for, or are you soliciting all of the gifts?
Well, over the years, I've been doing it for a number of years, and I think my number one tip for anyone who wants to get into content or anything like that, have a plan to diversify your income streams, because you don't know with social media, is it going to just go up in smoke tomorrow? So for me, I've got like a set number of partnerships where, guys, I pay my taxes. If the tax people are watching, I pay my taxes. I'm honest. So I'll pay my taxes, and then what happens is I'll have my deliverables outlined, but with gifting, I don't want free gifting because then my whole social media presence is literally going to be a billboard. So you'll get this PR packages that are sometimes unsolicited, and I'm like, okay, firstly, how did you find out where I live?
Well, we have an unsolicited gift for you.
We didn't look.
What is it?
Look,
if it's McDonald's, I'll accept it.
No. Can you post this?
We thought you might.
Oh my God. Do you know what? I would risk tax evasion. I actually would.
You could maybe post that
on.
Oh
my God.
There's no way that's worth anything.
No, I think I might do a swipe up to hang out with Waleed. Swipe up. No, I'm not going to make that joke.
Check out.
This is great.
Check out Unbounded. It's Maria's brand new book. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.